Greetings, one and all. This is Ivan from the Department of Management. I welcome everyone who are watching this webinar series. Now, I request Dr. Savita, Head, Department of Management, to present the welcome note.
Good morning to one and all present. It gives me immense pleasure to invite each one of you for this final day webinar session. And today we have Mr. Gladson Joshua. He is a business analyst and enterprise design thinking practitioner, Heptagon Technologies Private Limited, Coimbatore. I'm doubly happy to invite Mr. Gladson Joshua for today's session as he is also our alumni student. We welcome you, Mr. Gladson. And today he is going to speak to us on the topic creative thinking. Yes, of course, each one of you have your own creative thinking, but enhancing this creativity is much more important. So how do we enhance this creativity? By getting more knowledge. So we believe that today's session is going to help you out to enhance and to have betterment of towards your creativity. We welcome each one of you. And now over to Mr. Gladson Joshua. Have a good day. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Gladson Joshua. I'm so happy to meet you all through this particular video. In this particular video, I would like to discuss about creative thinking, which I'm learning and I'm practicing for quite some time. Every person whom we meet in our day-to-day life, they are being creative in one way or the other. The difference between a creative person and a not creative person is the effort he puts towards dealing a particular thing. In this video, we can see the patterns of creative thinking. Now, what exactly is creative thinking means? Creative thinking helps an individual to see a problem or situation in a different dimension and to come up with a solution. It may be a structured process or an unstructured process, but it will give an end-to-end perspective of the particular problem to arrive multiple solutions, and the user can choose one best solution fit for the particular problem. The unstructured process may be like brainstorming, group discussion, and the structured process is like lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is a set of process which is followed by innovators across the time. Now, why being creative? Is that being creative more important in the current period? My answer would be yes. Being creative will help you to understand the situation more. It helps you to improve yourself. Every day, we have lot of ideas constantly generating in our brain. These ideas help us to be more creative, it shape our aspect, and we will have a better life daily. For example, when a person is getting out of his office after his office hours, and he will just have an idea to which is the shortest route without traffic to reach the home. That's how the creative thinking will transform the person's thinking. The research says that the creative thinking helps to improve the quality of your life. When it comes to a working professional, you can just think being a creative helps you to be the better problem solver. When there is an issue, when there is a different dimension which is provided by one particular person, you will be the vital source and will also play a vital role in an organization's development. Most importantly, following this creative thinking or being creative thinking comes with ups and downs, and it will also have a high risk of failure. But who faces this particular failure with great confidence, he will overcome these failures with the let's face it attitude. Moreover, being creative is just a tool to work through the process and constantly having those ideation and generating more ideas which are valuable, feasible to be used. Moving on to the next thing, we can see how patterns channel our creativity. I don't love to use this word called template. Actually, templates make us more creative than the brainstorming does. The templates help us to stick to a certain process which help us to move from one section to another section. Innovators for thousands of years use this particular templates to ideate, they develop a product or services. This has been following for hundreds of years now. I would like to say these templates are like a DNA within a human body, but these templates are currently used or embedded in a product, service, or process. One thing what we're going to do is that reapply the DNA or the template of certain product or services into a different product to find or come up with the optimum solution. I just want to repeat that the templates are more like a DNA. When we start reapplying this particular process into different products or services, and we will come with the optimal solution. The templates play a vital role in this process of creative thinking. We would like to call this particular templates a systematic inventive thinking because innovations always follow set of patterns which can be reapplied. Currently, these SIP is divided into 5 different patterns. One is subtraction, task unification, multiplication, division, and attribute dependency. When it comes to subtraction, we take an element and we eliminate a core component out of it. Task unification is a component. For example, we take a product, we assign a different task within the particular component. Multiplication is that having a component and copy the same component reusing within the product, and it can have additional or a less value than other previous component. Division is a template where the component or a product itself is divided into multiple physical or functional line but serves the same purpose. The attribute dependency, a product has correlation between 2 attributes. It may be dependent on environment, it may be dependent on person. Moving on to the next slides, I would like to discuss more about how this 5 templates have been used in previous inventions and previous product remodeling. Just take few seconds to look into the 2 pictures given here. One is coolers, which is used by the adventurous people or people who just love sporting. And second is a ATM card, a debit or a credit card. Here, the technique which they have used here is subtraction. The first image you can see the balance of has been removed, the rims have been removed and it is replaced with a thread or a rope. So which will help the travelers, riders or adventure enthusiasts to still have the glass within them even they run, jog, anything else. They have removed a particular component from the previous product and they have given a new structure to it without losing the previous purpose of the particular product. When it comes to second thing, the wireless debit card, they have removed or they have subtracted the swiping option with the Wi-Fi connectivity with the chip. In both the aspects, they have removed an essential component out of the product, but it still serves its purpose. This is what subtraction does. Moving towards next slide. Same as the previous two pictures, here we have two different pictures. One is a chair, another is an electronic watch. In the first picture, you can see a chair attached with a book holder. The primary function of a chair is to make a person sit. Current, they have used a task unification technique, a task unification process to combine the chair to attach with a book holder, which serves the actual purpose of the chair. Also, it adds on value to it. Second is the digital watch. The watch, the importance of watch to just view the time, but these watches, the modern or the digital watches gives you the heartbeat, weight, calorie burning, everything. Here, the core component is chair and watch. They have added a different component. They have united two different tasks which serves a new different purpose. So far we have seen subtraction and task unification. Let's move on to the next slide. Here you can see a bifocal lens and a multiple charger. The technique they have used here is multiplication technique. Multiplication technique, what we see here is that they take the one core component from a product, they copy it and they increase or decrease the value of the same component. Same here. We have seen there are a lot of multiple charges. We have used a lot. We have seen bifocal lenses. Earlier, the lenses were, will have single lenses. Now there have been two different lenses attached in one single frame or one single flash. Same as this. This is how the multiplication works. You copy one component and you attach to it, it serves the same purpose. Can you guess like what actually we are talking about here? So currently there are three different pictures here you can see. I will start with the happy hour. These are the examples of attribute dependency. Happy hour, a glass, and a crescendo alarm clock. The crescendo alarm clock, when you set the alarm and when it starts, when alarm sets on, it will be, the tone will be lighter. Until the alarm is off, the tone of the alarm will increase step by step. The duration and the closing of the alarm, these two attributes play an important role in the crescendo alarm clock. Moving on to the glass which is there, we have seen people who wear the sunshade glasses. Based on the time, when the outdoor sun, the brightness is increases, the glass gets darker, the specs gets darker. So this is an attribute dependency. When there is some temperature is high or the brightness is high outdoor, the glass gets darker and darker. When the person moves on to indoor, the glass is plain. Same as that. Let's come to happy hour. In certain times, the price of the goods will be minimum. There will be people, the more number of people rushing into the particular restaurant. When it's non-happy hours, the price will be double, there will be less number of people. In all three components, there are two different attributes which have been traveling together. Here, attribute A and attribute B will be indirectly proportional to each other. This is the final technique which we have been using, the division process. The division technique, what we actually saw is that dividing the component or a product physically or functionally. In first image, we can see a big cake and a cupcake. A bigger cake is a big component, but when it is being break down into minor cupcakes, it serves the process, serves the same purpose in a small way. Same example will set it to FMCG goods, sachets, which have been followed the same division technique or division template. The second image, what you can see is that the levels, different levels in the gaming system. The core purpose of a game is to give entertainment to a user. The same game have been divided into multiple levels, still serves the same purpose. So far, we have seen the subtraction process, task unification, multiplication, attribute dependency, and division process. Now let's see how you can use this particular process in a product or service. The first thing you have to do is to list the internal components of a product. For example, we can take the chair. For example, we can take the chair, which we have seen in the previous example. We can take the chair. We can just divide the chair into the internal components. We can have 4 legs, a back support, a bottom support. Yeah. Same as that. Whatever you take, product you take, you have to list out all the internal components. Now I will explain you how you can apply all these 5 different techniques into a good solutioning process. First, we will take subtraction. What does actually subtraction mean? Subtraction is removing a core component, but after removing the component, the product will have the same value to it. Let's do first thing. Let's list the internal components. Let's take example of a powder soup. For a powder soup, the previous component removed was water. Soup was in a liquid format. When they have removed the water from the soup, it has become the powdered soup. They have removed the core component, but still it serves the purpose of being a soup. Second thing is the task unification. Assign additional task to the component. In the previous example, we saw a chair with a book holder. We have listed down all the components, and we will be adding an additional task to a component by adding a book holder to it to hold more books. Multiplication, the same as that, copy a component and change it. What we have seen in the bifocal lens and the multiple charge. Still, it will serve the purpose. Division technique, as we were talking more sweet about the cupcakes, the division will be done more functionally or physically. The functional breakdown, it will be like the games, and the physical breakdowns will be like the cupcakes. Still, it will serve the purpose. An attribute dependency, you have to list down the dependency of environment and attributes of the product. For example, the attribute time changes, so does the attribute price changes. This would be the best example for the happy hour. When there is a certain time, the price will be reduced. When it's out of happy hours, the price will be high. So you have to list down the components, and you can choose any one of this particular technique which can be adopted in the particular product, service, or process. One final thing you have to do before you start using this particular technique, yes, you have known what subtraction, task unification, multiplication, division, and attribute dependency means. You have listed down all the components, and you have chosen one best thing which can be used in your workplace, which can be used in your house. Final one important thing you have to do before you start using or implementing this particular technique. You have to ask yourself 2 questions in the following order. Should we do it? Can we do it? You can break multiple products, you can add additional components, you can divide multiple components, you can compare 2 different attributes, and you can give an attribute dependency product, but the final, will it be feasible? Should we do it? Should we do it? Is there any outcome? Is there any value added to it? Yes, there is a value added to it. When you have the yes, should we do it? Yes, you can go for the second question, can we do it? Okay, you have listed down the products, you have chosen the best technique to adopt, and you ask the question, should we do it? And you have the answer yes, and you have to check, can we do it? You have to check the functional and the physical dependency to that. You need feasibility, the purpose, you should need a purpose of that, the purpose of solving a problem. Should we do it? Is that yes, I have a purpose, that's a purpose or a problem which can be solved. Can we do it? Yeah, you have the problem. When you do this particular activity, you can solve the particular problem. That's where should we do it and can we do it? Question should be asked every time you use this particular techniques for adopting. What I would suggest is that you may succeed in first try, you may not succeed in first try. What I would request you is that I request you to start working out. Take few components, few products, start practicing it, just go back and try how this particular process works, how the innovators have knowingly or unknowingly used this particular process or particular technique template to adopt creative thinking. Lately I was reading a book called 1001 Innovations Which Change the World. I was really astonished by the way these techniques have been used here. I would like to give few examples over here, like for the task of multiplication. You copy a component and change it. This particular multiplication technique has been used in helicopters. They have a big propeller, the top of the helicopter, and they have a small propeller at the back of the helicopter, which helps in navigation. This is a small example of how these inventions and innovators have used these techniques to work. I hope this particular session was so useful to you all. I would like to know more suggestions from you. You can just drop email to me at gladsonjoshua@yahoo.com, so we can have more discussions about this, and we can have formal or informal creative thinking sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. And now I welcome Dr. Preeta F. James, Associate Professor, Department of Management, to render her words of gratitude.
On behalf of Bishop Appasamy College of Arts and Science, I express my gratitude to the Almighty for making this 7 days webinar series a success. And my sincere thanks to the resource person of the day, Mr. Gladson Joshua, business analyst, enterprise design thinking practitioner, Heptagon Technologies Private Limited. Definitely, students would have got the opportunity to listen to you and encouraged in the near future the thoughts on creative thinking. What are the techniques to be used in creative thinking, and how to solve the problems, come out with a solution for the problems would have definitely encouraged them. Thank you, Mr. Gladson Joshua. Thank you, students, for actively participating in this 7 days webinar series. And by this time, you have definitely learned new things from this webinar series. Thank you very much, students. And over to Ivan for the instruction notes.
Thank you for joining. Here's something for your kind attention. Submitting feedback will mark your attendance. We request you again that writing your name or greeting words will not mark your presence. Kindly avoid that. Keep YouTube comment section free for the questions later to sessions. The feedback form will be remain active until 6:30 p.m. only. Please do fill the form before time. It is mandatory for you to complete the feedback form in order to earn the e-certificate. The certificate will be issued to the participant who have attended at least 5 days of this webinar series. The certificate will be issued within a week. For any queries, you may post to bbabakaswebinar@gmail.com. Thank you. Stay safe.